It is early March 2024, and Shomo, Tom, and I are in Grand Canyon National Park for what's planned to be a 6-day backpacking trip. We are going to head down the South Kaibab Trail, cross the Colorado River, and break off trail to climb up Piano Alley, cross Utah Flats, and drop down into Phantom Canyon. We'll be setting up base camp and exploring the depths of the canyon for a couple days before returning back the way we came. It is cold and a bit windy. The temperatures for the Inyuk Canyon are in the 70s, so we're excited to get down there and get to that warmth. It's time to hit the trail. A few bright spots are the first rays of the sun hitting the canyon in the morning. We're getting chased down the canyon by about 20 pack animals there. Hopefully we can stay ahead of them for a little bit before they coat the trail with a fresh layer of bombs. Beautiful view from Cedar Ridge. The sun is just barely breaking through the clouds, giving us some awesome light and shadows on the canyon as we hike. The wind hasn't been too bad. It blows from time to time. We are making good progress. Happy to be in the canyon. Far off in the distance, near the bottom of the canyon, is Utah Flats. Right in front of Tom, lit up, is Isis. Peering down on the Tonto Plateau, dappled in sunlight, Skeleton Point. Down in the bottom of the canyon, to the left, is our first view of the Colorado River. Continuing to zigzag down the South Kaibab Trail. A window into the depths. Trail crew out here doing the Lord's work, taking care of things for us recreators. The sun has bursted out more than at any other point in the day so far. We can see the trail crew camp. Looks like a pretty cool place to spend some time after a hard day's work. Like the start of a basketball game, we've reached the tip-off. Another point along the South Kaibab Trail. The skies continue to clear. Always fun to see the trail laid out in front of us, and we get plenty of that in the canyon. There's the river trail, the Colorado River, South Kaibab Trail, North Kaibab Trail, Bright Angel Campground, and where we're heading is Utah Flats. Down there across the Colorado River is the Black Bridge. That'll be our ticket over. Getting close to the Black Bridge. There's the Silver Bridge, a chopper dropping off supplies at the camp, and the Black Bridge. We are entering this dark tunnel in order to cross Black Bridge. Looking upstream from the Black Bridge and downstream from the Black Bridge. Looking back at the Black Bridge in the south side of the Grand Canyon, this is the first time that I've ever stepped foot north of the Colorado River in the canyon. Pueblo remains about 1,000 years old. Home sweet home. We made the decision to snag an open cabin tonight and do the hot, steep, unrelenting climb up the Utah Flats in the morning when it's cooler. Clear, beautiful, bright Angel Creek. Day one has gotten our backpacking trip in the Grand Canyon off to a great start. Any day hiking into or out of the canyon will be tough physically to stay at Phantom Ranch, and the amenities here are going to have us spoiled for the rest of the trip. We'll get up to the top of Utah Flats tomorrow. Until then, we're going to be settling in and relaxing. That'll be the end of day one. Good night. Good morning. We made it to day 2 in the Grand Canyon. After a very nice night of glamping last night, ready to begin our off-trail portion of the trip by starting the day heading up to Utah Flats. I think we're all feeling like the glamping lifestyle has a lot of pros. Maybe we'll do some more glamping in the future, we'll see. But for the rest of this trip, we're going to be out in the canyon and we're ready to hit it and get it. We are fixing to head across the bridge and right up this face basically. Tom and Chomo continue to assure me that there is a pretty realistic way up. I'm hoping that's the case. Here we go. The glamping is over. This telephone line was built in 1935 by the CCC. It ran all through the canyon and served as the main source of communication for many decades. Looking down on Phantom Ranch.
Oh yeah. There's some good ones in Boundary Waters. No, not as good as this.
The route to this point has been extremely steep and extremely unsteady due to slippery rock, but the path itself was not terribly hard to follow. Just as Shomo and Tom have promised, we're making good progress on the day. Our next stage of the adventure begins as we're heading up through Piano Alley, and that gap right in the middle will take us through the Utah Flats. And those boulders looked a lot smaller when they were farther away. Things were a pretty fun scramble for a bit up Piano Alley, and now they've even turned into a bit of a climb. We are making it nearly to the long-awaited Utah Flats. That jumble of boulders is what we came up. Piano Alley. All the way across the canyon, we can see the South Kaibab Trail and the tip-off area from yesterday. We just crossed through the gateway to Utah Flats. Anyone who is expecting to see a lot of flat ground is going to be disappointed. But it is very cool to be up here. Kind of feels like the top of the world, even though obviously there are a lot higher points. Beautiful day, few clouds, blue sky, sunny, comfortable temperature. What a life. This stretch of the trail does not allow for much opportunity to look at the scenery because every step we're watching out for this cactus maze. The closer canyon is Phantom Canyon, where we're heading, and the farther canyon is Bright Angel, where we came from. We entered Utah Flats all the way down there. First view of Phantom Creek at the bottom of Phantom Canyon. After a significant distance undulating up and down across Utah quote-unquote flats, we are now descending on the route that will take us into Phantom Canyon. Phantom Creek is looking mighty inviting down there amongst the cottonwoods. We made it down to the bottom of the lively and vibrant Phantom Canyon. Now we're on the hunt for camp. We should be less than a mile from the spot that we're aiming for. Home sweet home. We found our camp spot a little ways up Phantom Creek, underneath this big protecting ledge. It'll keep the sun off of us, may even keep the rain off. The Grand Canyon backcountry is divided into use areas by difficulty. The 4 types from least to most challenging are corridor, threshold, primitive, and wild. Bright Angel is a corridor area, while Phantom Creek is a wild area. Tents are pitched. I'm on the left, Tom tucked in the middle, Shomo out to the right. Camp's looking good, which means it is dinner time. Day 2 in the Grand Canyon has been another great day. We had a lot of scenery to enjoy, especially while hiking over Utah Flats, which gave us expansive views of the surrounding Grand Canyon and side canyons. We've got set up in Phantom Canyon, which will be our base camp for the next several days, and we look forward to exploring from here. Camp set up, we're getting dinner in us, settling in for a relaxing evening. That'll be the end of day 2. Good night. Good morning. We made it to day 3 of our backpacking adventure in the Grand Canyon. Restful night last night, temperature stayed in the mid-40s, and as is typical when we get a clear sky in the canyon, the stars were brilliantly splashed all across the sky. We have what we hope to be an easy day today. We're going to go explore a little ways up Haunted Canyon, see what we can see, have a good time, come back and enjoy camp. We're ready to get going. As we set off on today's day hike, we can see Phantom Canyon stretching off to the left, and Haunted Canyon, our destination, coming in from the right. Almost in real time, we are watching the cottonwoods start to leaf out along Phantom Creek. There are few sights prettier than flowing water in the desert. Even out here deep in the canyon, you still find human trash. Shomo just picked up a happy birthday balloon that must have floated in from somewhere. The confluence of Haunted Canyon and Phantom Canyon. We've got a beautiful day today. Blue sky, puffy clouds. It's getting a little warm. It's not too bad. Haunted Creek has a nice flow right now. This is as far as we're going to go up Haunted Canyon today. It was cool to see the stream flowing. Time to head back to camp and relax on this gorgeous day. Looking down onto the confluence of Phantom Creek and Haunted Creek. A closer view of the confluence. Phantom to the left, Haunted to the right. Looking down Phantom Canyon, heading back towards camp. Home sweet home. We made it back to camp after a fun little day hike adventure. Day 3 in the canyon has been another great day. Can't beat setting up a base camp and day hiking out to explore. Feels so light on your feet without carrying a heavy pack around. There was several hundred people that we saw on day 1 in the corridor, and once we left the corridor, we had only seen now one person over the last 2 days. You can definitely find wilderness in the Grand Canyon. Camp's been set up, we're getting dinner in us, and settling in for the relaxing evening at the end of a relaxing day. That'll be the end of day 3. Good night. Day 4 has turned into a rest day to prepare us for the remainder of our trip, with a rainstorm keeping us from venturing out too far. Staying close to camp has afforded Shomo and I the opportunity to get a handful of good games of chess in, and as we shelter underneath this ledge and stay dry, it gets the imagination running, considering that humans have lived and used the Grand Canyon for over 10,000 years, and how many other groups of adventurers throughout time have used this same ledge for shelter. That'll be the end of day 4. Good night. Good morning! We made it to day 5 of our backpacking adventure in the Grand Canyon. Today was our last day here at our campsite in Phantom Canyon. We're going to hike out. Comfortable night last night, dropped down to the low 40s. The stars were once again splashed brilliantly across the sky. There's a lot to see in the canyon in the daytime, and the night brings its own special things to see as well. We're going to get going because we need to get up to the top of Utah Flats, and it's time to hit the route. One last look at the ledge that sheltered us for the past 3 days. The sunlight is trickling down the canyon walls towards Phantom Creek. That half sunny, half shadowy slide is our exit ticket out of Phantom Canyon. First taste of direct sunlight in 2 days. Peering down into Phantom Canyon, and at the confluence, Haunted heads right, Phantom heads left. We're going to be picking our way somewhere across here to get back up onto Utah Flats. Looking up at Isis, you may remember we saw her far away, illuminated in sunlight, coming down South Kaibab on day one. Made it up to that ledge that I'd pointed out. Bit of a steep climb, nothing we can't handle. It is a gorgeous day today. Some white puffy clouds, beautiful blue skies, sun shining. Back like we never left. Our old friend, Utah Flats. My eyes may be deceiving me, but it looks like along the uppermost reaches of the rim I see what could be some fresh snow from the recent storms. I've crossed Utah Flats and I'm at the beginning of Piano Alley. I'm breaking away from my group for a moment. We're permitted to stay up here tonight, but I'm going to run down to Bright Angel, see if there's any openings that we can get into. Because if not, we've got a huge day tomorrow. So we're just going to see what's going on down there. If nothing's open, we'll camp up here. Two views of the Colorado River. One down here, one up here. I made it past the big boulder scramble portion of this downhill trek, but the rest of it is even worse. It's steep, unstable, what I would liken to scree slopes the rest of the way down. Making progress though. We'll see what awaits at the bottom. Way down in the bottom, along Bright Angel Creek, I can see the start of Phantom Ranch and the Bright Angel Campground. Well, the rangers smiled on us. They were able to slot us into an open campsite. A rarity. We got really lucky. I'm gonna hike all the way back up, break the good news, grab my pack, and hike all the way right back down. The wolf pack is reunited. We're making our way back down Piano Alley to camp along Bright Angel Creek. We made it down and we got someone here to greet us. Big old rack on that boy. Home sweet home. We made it to camp at Bright Angel Campground. Long day today, a lot of tough hiking. Up and down. Some beautiful sights, and it's our last night on this trip, so we'll enjoy it. Gonna go ahead and sign out. We'll call this the end of day 5. Good night. Good morning. Made the day 6 in the canyon. Restful night last night, which was needed after a long day. Down here at this low elevation, the temperature stayed in the mid-50s throughout the night. Very comfortable. Once again, brilliant stars. The moon has been missing this entire trip. Shomo and Tom had the good idea to play to our strengths today. Their strength is getting up early. My strength is hiking in a rhythm without too many breaks. So they were up at 4:30. I got up at the late hour of 5:55, just in time to see them off on the trail. I will try to catch them today. My goal is to reach them at the 3/4 point of the hike. My stretch goal will be to get them halfway up. That'll be tough, but it gives me kind of a fun extra adventure on the day to try to chase those guys down. So I need to get going. It's time to hit the trail. You may remember the Black Bridge from when I mentioned it 100 times on the first day. There it is again. The first rays of sunlight coming down to the bottom of the canyon. We're heading back up the way we came down, South Kaibab Trail. Final day of the trip. It's time to go catch Shomo and Tom. Looking downstream of the mighty Colorado. Bye-bye, Bright Angel. Thanks for the hospitality. That double peak right there is Isis. We've seen her from quite a few different angles and distances on this trip. There's a little bighorn sheep type thing up there, eating some grass in the morning. The Colorado is growing smaller. When we hiked in, it was a beautiful emerald green color, but with the couple days of precipitation, it's reverted to its muddy brown state. Like a jump ball, we're at the tip-off. A crystal blue day today. I wouldn't even mind a few clouds because it's going to start heating up very soon. I'm making good time, but Shomo and Tom are staying ahead of me so far. We'll see if I can reach my goal or my stretch goal. Time will tell. Stretch goal achieved. A bit before the halfway point, I found Tom and Shomo. Let's see if I can sneak up on them. Just a bit past the halfway point with this sign. To the window, to the wall. To the right of the muddy Colorado is the Bright Angel campground with the green cottonwoods where we started our day. Up above them is Piano Alley. Here's Utah Flats, and this canyon wall is Phantom Canyon. Enjoying the view from Skeleton Point.
How you doing, Todd?
Tired. Well, the other day I thought I saw snow up on the rim, and sure enough, there it is. Making good progress. Made it to the top of the rim. Bottom's optional, top is mandatory. Hiked the last little stretch with my buddies from Utah, Trevor and Noah. We finished up our adventure in the Grand Canyon. For me, it's always a pleasure to get to hike with Tom and Shomo. They're huge experts in the canyon. I love learning from them. And anytime I say something in the video where I point out a point of interest or say something smart, it came from these two guys. You can be guaranteed of that. My next trip will be in the Southern Sky Islands in Arizona. I haven't picked which one yet. Until next time, thanks for tuning in to Lane's World. Goodbye.